And it looks like they're off.
Has some fun tech smashing here at the very start.
Oh yes, tech smashing, the most useful skill in RTA races.
Yeah, tech smashing can make the difference in races if you're going against someone who's not quite as good at it as you are. Seen a few races where one person was in the lead just because their tech smashing was a little bit better than the other guys, whoever they were racing against.
Yeah, it's funny because it's one of those skills that doesn't usually come into play because the in-game timer doesn't run while there's text on the screen, so you never really think about it. But in this tourney, it's something you got to practice a little bit. But right from the get-go, we're seeing Scotty pull ahead a little bit because he gets the climb, as it's called, in that very first vertical room, which is a surprisingly difficult sequence of wall jumps, and Elfonzyo having to climb up a little bit more intended strat E.
Yeah, Elfonzyo's in a little bit of trouble at the start here. He had a bit of trouble platforming in the previous room and wasn't able to kill the Horn Node quickly either. Just little things like that make the difference early on.
Now, to be fair, movement in the main deck during this first part of the game is surprisingly tricky. It's just a sequence of getting through the rooms cleanly at the beginning is just an early bit of something you have to learn when you're first picking up this game. There's a lot of ways you can accidentally land on platforms you don't want to land on, grab ledges you don't want to grab, and in a game like this that's so linear, just little movement mistakes add up over the course of the run, very much so.
See Scotty doing an interesting kind of climb there. I don't think I've seen someone do it that way before.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. I'm surprised he actually did a ledge grab there instead of just trying to get on top of the platform, but... Yeah, given the choice, it's preferable to try to land on the platform rather than ledge grab because climbing takes extra time. It's a few frames, not a lot, but again, this run is over an hour long, so frames that up.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the exact time it takes, but I think it's between quarter of a second and half a second for actually climbing up, pulling yourself up from a ledge grab. But do not quote me on that number.
All right, Scotty low-key crushing my gold split for the missile split here on the English version. But the point is, now Scotty and soon Elfonzyo are going to have missiles, which are an extremely important power-up in this game, because there are some enemies that can only be hurt by missiles.
Yeah, one funny little trend throughout the game is it seems like first you get a missile upgrade that now lets you kill enemies you couldn't kill before. Then you get a beam upgrade that lets you kill those enemies. So right now we're at the point where they don't quite have the strong beam yet, so they're going to be using missiles a lot.
Yeah, because they want us to keep running as much as possible. Running is faster than jumping in pretty much all situations that involve moving horizontally, so if you can use a missile to kill an enemy rather than have to stop and jump over it or shoot it, you will. Now it's time for the first eye door. You can only shoot it when the pupil shows the pupil, so they're going to be trying to get double missiles, which is to say 2 missiles into it, hitting it at the same time to skip a cycle. Let's see if Scotty can get a double.
Scotty did get the double, but he's got bad beam RNG there.
Oh gosh, beam RNG is the persistent bugbear of Metroid Fusion speedrunning.
Alright, and Elfonzyo getting much better luck than what we saw Scotty get there. Gets the double and doesn't seem to get any beams.
Scotty having a flawless Arachnus fight. No rolls, and the double and sweet spot. Oh, and Elfonzyo, unfortunately, having Arachnus give him a roll. But he can, as long as he can still get the doubles on the core. Basically, if you can, he does. He gets the first double. Can he get the sweet spot? Oh, not quite.
Just barely misses it there.
Still a solid fight, though.
Getting the sweet spot in Arachnus is deceptively hard.
Yeah, small room, so the background keeps shifting. It's hard to find. It's hard to get visual cues. Kind of got to feel it out. You know, in case anyone's wondering what I mean by sweet spot, it's if you kill the core X on the spot where you pick up the power up, you don't have to wait for it to float around. You just pick it up immediately. Can save you a few seconds. Very useful. They're going to try to get it on every boss fight possible. Alright, now first possible deviation here, we see Scotty going for the main deck missile, which means he's probably going to be going for 45 missiles on his run. It's 10 missiles more than the task uses, so it's a little bit less than optimal, but it gives you a lot of security through the run, particularly here in upcoming Sector 1 and later on for a particular boss. I figure Elfonzyo will go for it too, but we'll see. Oh, he's not going for it. He's going for the old 40 missile strat then.
Yeah, really the main deck missile just makes the main reason for, I think, a lot of runners grabbing the main deck missile. I mean, in Sky's case, he probably just grabbed it, I think, to have 45 missiles, but one big benefit that it does come with is it makes Sector 1 a lot easier to go through.
Yeah, because Sector 1 is probably the most intense missile management of the entire run.
Yeah, it's a concern in like 2 areas later on. I can remember that I point out offhand, but those areas aren't nearly as bad as it is here.
Yeah, because running out of missiles in Sector 1 means you actually have to go into another room and farm enemies, which is 2 extra door transitions plus however long it takes for the enemies to cough up green X's. And since they want to be using they need to use missiles to take out the atmospheric stabilizers, and they want to use missiles to kill enemies quickly so they don't have to stop running, so keeping an eye on that, as well as making sure they have full health so that the enemies will always drop green X's, is extremely important in Sector 1. Not to mention, it also lets you do a fast strat in this next room, which I think we're going to see Scotty do. Yes. Oh, he does a variation. Interesting.
Actually, pretty nice variation there. Saves you a missile.
Yeah, I think I normally see folks do a variation on the 100% one, which is actually killing every single Horned in the room with a missile instead of skipping that second to last one. Ooh, getting sniped by the pirate, but Scotty still has a pretty quick fall through that vertical shaft. Oh, Elfonzyo having some trouble trying to do the missile conservation strat of jumping between the horn nodes, but unfortunately getting knocked around a bit.
Yeah, the scary thing for Elfonzyo right now is that he has less missiles than Scotty, and he also has less health. And the amount of missiles he's using is not going to be going down anytime soon, and every time he takes an extra hit like that, it's just going to be that much harder to get missile drops later on.
Yeah, I mean, you can still get greens, it's just the probability drops if your health is lower, so he's just going to have to keep his fingers crossed. Oh, gets a green drop off that stabilizer. He's going to have to keep his fingers crossed that the pirates in the second vertical shaft give him some good drops.
He's got to get sniped by that pirate there right at the end. Yeah, climbing up that shaft can be a bit annoying at times because the pirates will definitely try and snipe you.
Elfonzyo definitely getting a little bit of better RNG on the placement of positioning for that stabilizer. Oh, meanwhile, Scotty makes it to the second die door. Let's see if we can get the double. Oh, that one tinked. Yeah, I-core doubles only are applied to the first 2 doors, because after this one they're getting the charge beam, which means you only have to worry about 1 weak spot. Oh gosh. Scotty having terrible luck though, but he gets the double.
So far it seems like Scotty's been getting the doubles, the doors just haven't really been cooperating.
Well, that's Metroid Fusion in a nutshell, isn't it? You can be playing super well and suddenly the RNG is against you, then you can have a terrible run and suddenly, wow, 0 beams every time. I think Elfonzyo might have gotten a double there. I think he did.
He did.
Nice.
Looks like he did. So hopefully, I believe he got a few less beams than Scotty did. So hopefully that'll help him catch up a little bit here.
Yeah, it seems that RNG has been playing a lot nicer with Elfonzyo so far, which is very much to his benefit. Did not get any doubles on the core, though, and it got a little bit out of position, but got to the sweet spot. Very nice. Alright, both of them now just armed with the charge beam, finishing off the last stabilizer, and will shortly be on their way out of Sector 1.
Scotty doing, I believe, the Kadoom strat there to damage boost his way into that stabilizer and one-hit it with the charge beam.
Interesting, I don't think I've ever seen that strat. I'll have to check that out.
That's the first time I've actually seen someone do it, but I knew of its existence before this point.
Yeah, this room can be a little bit quick or slow depending on positioning and just how well you can deal with the whore node on the top under the stabilizer there. Goodness knows it's easy to accidentally tink a couple of missiles if you're trying to get into position and not using the charge beam there. Oof, Elfonzyo having to use a few extra missiles there. Shouldn't be a problem heading into Sector 2, but it's definitely going to leave him a little bit less wiggle room. Might have to stop and grab the red X before the next boss.
Yeah, Scotty has a really nice missile count going into Sector 2 here. Which can be really helpful. Now, again, they have charge, so they're not going to be using as many missiles, but there are a few spots where you still have to use them. And if you have enough going into the boss room, like Crunchy said, you don't have to grab the red X, so I think that's going to be Scotty's objective here, is to make sure he can skip that red X or not.
Yeah, the charge beam definitely enables you to save a lot on missiles. The problem is it takes a little bit of time to charge, so you gotta deal with two enemies quickly. Your best bet usually is charge shot, then missiles. Elfonzyo having the better health heading into Sector 2, which shouldn't come into play. Both these are good runners, but Sector 2 is definitely... Conserving health definitely is the big concern in Sector 2 this first visit. Well, Elfonzyo definitely just staying right on Scotty's tail here.
Elfonzyo has been keeping really good pace with Scotty.
Alright, here we go. Sky's got to watch out for those red Zoros. Running into them will do, I want to say, 45 damage, and they are everywhere. Their favorite party trick is being where you need to be. Oh, just like that. That room actually, Scotty just ran through being an excellent example of having to use the charge beam on the first Zoro and then 2 missiles on the second.
Yeah, the patterns of Zoros give you the direction they go is RNG, so if you get unlucky and they go a different way or a certain way, you can have to change your strat or you'll get hit.
Yeah, not to mention, just trying to hit an enemy on the floor with 2 missiles while running is a little bit weird because the missiles kind of angle a little bit, just like that. If you're not careful, you can hit it with the first one, then run into it before the second one hits it. Aside from a couple of accidental body slams, looks like Scotty's doing pretty well here. About to go grab the bombs, which, unfortunately, just unlike their Super Metroid predecessor, are not nearly as useful.
Yeah, no real movement tech with bombs in this game. You just mostly use them to get rid of blocks in your way.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's 1 or 2 spots where you can do shenanigans with bombs, but that's in 100%, not in any percent, so it's... Oh, Scotty getting the good Zoro placement in this room. You want it to be on the left side of that room as opposed to the right. now Elfonzyo getting bombs as well. It's interesting. It seems like Scotty is like his hands are moving a little bit too quick in spots, and he's actually like morphing before he's supposed to shoot, or in some cases just messing up quick jumps.
Looking like Scotty's hands are just a little bit too fast for the game to handle at the moment.
Input parser can't understand. Alright, let's see. You can how to deal with the pancakes here. No problems.
You're really bad pattern on those last set of pancakes there.
And goodness knows that we can definitely see a change in the distance between the two runners with the upcoming boss, which is one of the slightly more annoying RNG nightmare bosses of this run. And also, we're going to see Scotty grab this extra E-Tank, because I know as a fact Scotty always goes for E-Tank, and Elfonzyo may very well go 3, because I know a lot of runners who've been running these games before this year definitely tend to opt for 3 instead of 4.
Yeah, I think the main reason Scotty grabs that E-Tank is going to be because of the box strat he uses. I'm not sure how much health it takes up exactly, but he may actually need that extra E-Tank to survive that encounter.
Possibly.
And of course, could just be for safety, trying to do that in tournament, don't want to risk dying.
I think I asked him about it once.
E-Tank's not really going to cost him that much time.
Yeah, that's one of the less costly ones to grab. I think I talked about it once, and he just says that he takes a lot of damage that he probably shouldn't take, so he just likes having 4 E-Tanks. Looks like he had a middle-of-the-road number of jumps on Zazabi there, but he got the double-double in sweet spot, so if Elfonzyo gets a lower number of jumps and can match the core fight, he can gain back some time here. Zazabi will give you anywhere between 3 and 12 extra jumps, and wow, starting off with 0 jumps in that first phase. Ooh, look at that. 5 jumps Zazabi. That's pretty darn good. So Elfonzyo getting some good luck on that boss on the Zazabi there. Let's see if he can do the core. Oh, misses the first double. Gonna lose 3 seconds there.
One thing that's been going good for Elfonzyo on this run has just been the RNG so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's definitely been nice to him so far.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's like we'll spend a lot of time talking about RNG, and RNG definitely can cost you many seconds, but at the same time, it's even with the worst RNG, you can still get a. I'm pretty sure you can still get a 46 even with worst RNGs. I mean, you play well, it'll still win the day, but in a race like this where they're staying pretty close to each other, it can make a big difference. And Scotty, no, oh God, Scotty, is he? Oh my God, he's doing it.
Okay, I have an idea of what he was trying to do there.
He was trying to do the zip. He was trying to get out of bounds there, but it didn't quite work.
So I guess that's the first Scotty moment of the run.
Yeah, very much so.
Many more of those to come.
Oh my goodness. Actually, I'm curious to see if Elfonzyo will actually go up the right side of the room instead of the left. Okay. Because I know that some runners will opt to go up the right side just because that's what they've always done, even though I guess recent retiming has shown that going up the left side tends to be, on average, about half a second faster.
Scotty actually got going up right side to be like within 10 frames slower, I think, is the lowest he was able to get it from his test.
Yes, but as far as calculating probabilities, Scotty's a statistical anomaly and should not be counted.
Fair enough.
I mean that in the nicest way possible. I mean, Scotty's a tremendous player, you can't use him as a baseline for these things. All right, both Scotty and Elfonzyo heading down into Sector 4, though. This is a sector where we can definitely see a change in the lead if things go sour, because the movement starts getting more complex here. Especially if Sky starts trying to pull some unusual movement strats here, so we'll see what happens. Taking advantage of the R shot there in order to be able to release his charge shot without popping out of the somersault. One of the little nifty movement things you can do in Fusion. Alright, now both of them gotta get ready though, because coming up is one of the bosses that we've seen definitely give racers a hard time, and that's Ceres. Also known in some circles as the poster child for why the charge beam is wonderful.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yep, charge beam can turn Ceres from a 5-cycle fight into a 2-cycle fight, if done correctly. And Scotty's about to head into the Ceres fight now, so we'll see how the Idor treats him and how the fight goes.
I'm not sure if Scotty does the new strat or not. I guess we're about to find out here.
I've not actually seen the new strat. Ooh, he gets 0 beams too, so I'm curious to see if he does it, because I'd like to see what it is.
No, he opts to do it the old way here.
All right, so we got the first hit. Let's see if he can make this a 2-cycle. Yes, he can. All right, 5 missiles on the score, 2 doubles and a single. Gets the first double. It looked like a single.
That was a single. You can always tell, because if you get the first double, the second double immediately turns it red.
Yeah. All right, so he didn't get sweet spot since he had to set up for that second double, but he still has a very good Ceres fight. Very good movement in the early part of the sector too, and Elfonzyo seems like he was also moving pretty sharply through here, so... Let's see if you can have an equally good Ceres fight. Yeah, Scotty shooting that diagonal missile there, another great example of missiles arcing while you're running. Alright, let's see how Elfonzyo handles Ceres.
That was one of those hits where I'm not sure if he got the full hit there. If he didn't, he just barely missed.
I think he did. Yeah, he got it.
Alright, he got it.
Alright, let's see if he can get the... Oh, tried spamming missiles to get that first double. Didn't quite get it. He should still be in good shape here. Oh, no!
That's not good.
Oh, no.
Luckily, he's just 1 hit away. Alright. Yeah, the last thing you want to do in the Ceres fight is take a dive. It can...
Oh, no! Oh, Elfonzyo, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, they kind of put the Core X there in a cruel position by putting it right between those 2 platforms. Because if you're waiting for it if it hasn't stopped yet and you're not sure you got sweet spot, you might just take a dive like that.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Meanwhile, Scotty had a relatively good exit of Sector 4. He did not get the low height Shine Spark, though, after lowering the water levels, so we'll see if Elfonzyo can pull that one off. Interesting, Elfonzyo opting to do a pseudo screw to kill that second crab enemy instead. A little bit slower, but it's probably a little bit easier to pull off. Scotty complaining his run is a mess in chat, while I would be happy to have a run like the one he is having right now.
That's just how it is, man. Different standards.
No, yeah, I understand. I'm saying that in half jest. I understand. All right, Elfonzyo going to set up for that low height. Let's see if he gets it. And oh, unfortunately, accidentally somersaulting out of the unmorph instead of getting the Shine Spark. Yeah, if you just stand on the floor and Shine Spark to the right, you'll bonk on that platform. But if you unmorph and quickly activate the Shine Spark, Samus will be a little bit closer to the ground. It's just enough to get under that platform. Yeah, we're definitely going to be seeing both of them make full use of the speed booster throughout the game, and especially also in Sector 3 here. Actually, I'm curious. Let's see if Scotty tries to go for the frame perfect shine store here. Oh, he did. He didn't get it.
I can't tell if he went for it or if he just didn't get it there.
Yeah. Interesting. Is that faster than just shine sparking horizontally?
I do not know. So if Scotty's doing it, there's probably a good reason.
It's probably it's probably a tiny bit faster but harder to do, is my guess. Yeah, the normal strat there is to we'll probably see Elfonzyo do it, is just to shine spark horizontally. But the thing about shine sparking is when you shine spark, it's just as fast as running, but it also has the startup and bonk animations, which make it a little bit slower depending on how big the room is. Okay, Scotty letting us know that his strat is frames faster than the horizontal shine spark.
One thing Ross mentioned, there's no bonking animation when you do it that way.
Yeah.
That would explain where the time save comes in.
Yeah, it's one of those things where the room is short enough that if the room were longer, it would be a bit more of a pronounced time save, I'd say, but... Let's see if Scotty can get... Oh, I think that looked pretty solid for Data Spark. Let's see if he can get it.
Yeah, he definitely got the spark. He just needs to time it right here. Up, gets it.
Gosh, what a machine! I've only actually ever pulled off that part of Data Spark once, and Scotty does it almost every time.
I got it done once, and I immediately bonked into the door.
Yeah, same. In my case, I did it once, and I was preparing to shoot diagonally, and I just accidentally shine spark diagonally instead. Okay, here we go. Here's Scotty's box strat. That is such a quick strat. Oh my god.
It's the 2-round, nice. That's the main reason. Like, you see there, he could have, if he didn't grab it, you think he still could have survived, but he would have had 17 health instead of 117 leaving here, which would have definitely been dangerous.
Yeah, no, that strat's a little bit faster just because normally this normal strat is to have the box, you fight it further to the left and shoot down from the monkey bars on the ceiling. And the thing is, when you kill box, it has to slowly walk back to the right where it hops up. But the way Scotty does it, you just fight it in the spot where it hops up, so you don't have to wait for it to walk. It just jumps up immediately. But it's more challenging because obviously you're taking a lot more damage.
In Scotty's case, he had a perfect 2-round there. If you have more rounds, you'll have to take more damage because you'll have to do it again.
Yeah. Box is one of those fights which is not that difficult once you figure out the patterns, but doing it fast is difficult, and just because its hitbox is kind of wonky and it does a lot of damage if you run into it. Elfonzyo did not get Data Spark, but yeah, we'll probably be... I'm fairly certain we'll be seeing the standard strat from Elfonzyo, so we'll see if he can pull off the quick kill there. I'm going to try to score extra hits on it before it gets over to the left here, and then just... Oh, misses the grab. Oh, that's the worst. Monkey bars in this game can be incredibly annoying sometimes. You think you're high enough to grab them, you're holding up, but you just don't quite jump high enough, and Samus doesn't grab it. And unfortunately now, Box has to slowly walk over.
One thing to note here too, Elfonzyo wants to have, you want to have 3 missiles leaving Sector 3, and Elfonzyo has enough, but he's gonna have to deal with some side hoppers. And he's either gonna have to kill them with Charge Beam or jump over them here.
Or he might actually just opt to kill them with missiles and then just Shine Spark or grab the missile tank early in Sector 6. They're definitely backup strats, just they're not as fast as having free missiles when you enter the sector.
I'm not sure where... But definitely something I'd like to know is the times, how much time it takes, whether it's better to just waste your missiles on those guys in the Shine Spark, or if it's better to like try and dodge them. I imagine there's probably an optimal way to do that, depending on your missile count leaving.
Yeah, that I'm honestly not sure. And moving through Sector 6, that Blue X got trolled Scotty a bit. It's usually not that low, but it can be. And does a fair bit of damage. Thankfully, he had enough health to be able to just body the hit. And there's the absolutely free energy tank here. It costs 0 frames to grab it.
About to have another Scotty moment here. His
course,
method of doing the SAX skip.
Yes, Scotty does the actual TAS method here, which is a bit faster than the much, much safer method that pretty much everybody else uses. I still clench a little bit every time he does that.
I mean, I don't think I've ever seen him fail it, but I mean, like you said, I still can't help it. I'm just like, every time I see it, I'm just like panicking a little bit.
Yeah. He also gets 0 beams on the Giant Core X doors. Alright, so let's see how Giant Core X treats him. I think Scotty prefers to have the Giant Core X be a little bit lower on the screen. Oh, it gets away from him. And he misses the first double. And the second double, I think. Oh gosh, Scotty's just having a really hard time with his core. Oh no. Interestingly, it actually is harder to do double missiles now because the missiles move faster and have a longer cooldown between shots. So it is actually harder to get the doubles from here on out, but that still was a bit uncharacteristic what we'd come to expect from Scotty, so this is definitely a chance for Elfonzyo to have a better Giant Core X fight and gain back some time here.
Yeah, it's actually the only boss fight you get to do super doubles on, because he's pretty much going to immediately go now and get the Ice Missile upgrade. So having that timing memorized is a bit more annoying because you're only doing it for one boss.
Yep, and as soon as you get the Ice Missiles, the timing changes again. And now, Scotty has the Mustard Suit, worst suit. We're going to see Elfonzyo do the standard sack skip here. Basically, let it take a couple of steps, which is important. Poke it with a stick, and then run around. Incidentally, that missile tank you just saw Scotty grab, that would have been the tank that if you don't have 3 missiles, that's the backup tank you grab. You grab it early instead of waiting until the escape from Sector 6. Oh. Elfonzyo, unfortunately, getting multiple I-beams. 3 beams already? Oh, goodness.
I mean, like I mentioned, Elfonzyo's had some pretty good luck at the start of this run. It's gotta get even out at some point.
In theory. Pardon me. All right, let's see how his Giant Core X fight goes. Let's see. Yeah, ideally you want. Oh, it gets away from him as well.
Yeah, and he has to take 1 extra hit here too.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe 2 extra hits there.
Unfortunately, not hitting with the flare from the charge beam. So let's see if we can at least set up for some doubles, gain back some time here. All right,
I
one double.
think he got that one.
He did. Oh gosh, what happened?
Oh no, he better be careful here.
Oh, his health, yeah. I think he should be fine.
All right,
but
he's
still,
good.
That was,
he's good.
Ooh.
Yeah, that boss fight, it's very easy to lose track of your health on it, so you want to be careful.
Yeah, I feel like that's just a common thing that happens especially happens to pretty much everybody, that once you get past the boss, you get to the core, you stop thinking about your health because it's just the core, but cores in this game do a surprising amount of damage when they run into you. Especially later on.
I feel like Nightmare Core is especially one of the worst ones about that.
And the Ridley core. I've died to the Ridley core more than once, and it's always one of those, did that just happen moments?
It's like, especially before Ridley fight, by the time you get done with it, you're thinking, oh yeah, I'm in the clear, and then, no, you were not, unfortunately.
Now, Elfonzyo, having to deal with those annoying puffers in Sector 6, but otherwise having a relatively good, clean Sector 6 escape here, looks like. Scotty got knocked around a bunch, so Elfonzyo is doing about the same, it seems to be. Maybe a little bit cleaner.
Yeah, unfortunately, like, pretty much almost all the puffer patterns are annoying in some way to deal with, so you just kind of have to deal with it, I guess.
Yeah. One of the few perks of getting the ice missiles, which Sky's about to get, is that if you freeze a puffer, it doesn't blow out that purple smoke. So later on, you're going to probably see them try to freeze puffers rather than shoot them. Alright, so now that Scotty's in Sector 5 and Elfonzyo's about to be there, we have to keep our fingers crossed that both of them remember where they're supposed to be going.
A bit of trouble with that climb when Scotty's in there. Had to go work extra hard to get rid of that crab on the wall.
Yeah, that climb is actually surprisingly challenging, regardless of which of the two strats you try to do for it. Alright, Scotty getting ice missiles, Elfonzyo about to descend down into Sector 5. Oops. Well, no, Ivan, the climb is not technically that hard, but still, the moment you stop worrying about it is the moment that you suddenly run into two different things, or misfire and then just don't drop a wall jump. I mean... But then again, I probably should not use my own experiences there. A lot of movement in this game can be surprisingly challenging if you stop focusing.
Yeah, unfortunately, the whole theme of letting your attention go for even a few seconds can spell disaster is true throughout the entirety of the run. A lot of times the enemy patterns and stuff can vary just enough to where you need to be paying super attention whenever you're moving.
Yeah, and enemies throughout the game and bosses do enough damage that if you start getting very sloppy, the game will kill you outright. I mean, it just happens. I think that's probably one of the biggest criticisms people have this game casually, is that everything does so much damage. Well, that's no less dangerous in speedruns. And Scotty has now made it to everybody's favorite meme section of the game, the emergency. Or the meltdown, depending on who you ask. Cool people call it emergency. Yeah, Nextgen mentioned earlier that there's a spot later on where missile management is important. This is it. The game wants you to get practice with your ice missiles, so you have to do a lot of freezing of enemies to make platforms. So you gotta keep an eye on your missile count, otherwise you will run out and you will be in a bad spot, because the stretchies, if you can't freeze them, You can't use them as platforms, and they just love to knock you off whatever you're standing on.
And your charge beam does pretty much useless damage to them too, which doesn't help.
Yeah. But Scotty seems to have pretty good on missile count here, as long as he doesn't miss whiff a bunch of times. Elfonzyo looks like he will probably be similarly in good shape for missiles. Alright, now, that timer at the top of the screen is way too much time. They're going to be wanting to get... If they're really doing well, above a 430 is an excellent time. Anything in the 420s is still a very good time. Scotty having an excellent 448 door time. If he can get double-doubles on this core, he will have a spectacularly good emergency time. That double looks solid.
Wow.
Scotty with a casual 436. Holy cow, that's an exceptionally good time. Wow.
This is a really great emergency.
Yeah, isn't world record 437?
I don't know offhand. It's something in that range for sure.
Yeah, but no, high 430s is an exceptional time. That was really good.
Really good climb, leaving Sector 3 there.
Yeah, another challenging bit of movement there. Because while you're trying to shoot things off screen, a couple of spots there, if you let the missile get too far ahead of you, it despawns before it hits the stretchy, so gotta be careful.
Looks like Elfonzyo is moving deeper onto emergency, and looks like he has good missile count going into it.
Yep. And now having to return to the main deck to save the animals, because someone's got to do it since the Super Metroid runners won't.
Like to joke that the RNG you get at the animals depends on whether you save them in Super or not.
Yeah, that's what... I like to say something similar.
At least that's my own personal headcanon for why I always get bad RNG there.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, Elfonzyo opting to do a pseudo screw attack strat in that room. A bit more consistent, but a little bit slower than just freezing the enemy. A 442 door time, still a great door time. Anything above 440 at the door is very good.
And he actually got no beams like Scotty did too, so good favorable RNG going in there.
Oh, drops one of the doubles though, unfortunately.
Did get the second one though, so I was able to save a bit of time there.
Yeah, 425, a very respectable emergency time. Ooh. Scotty, what was that? That was an impossible strat. That was something, I think, even faster than impossible strat. And let's see... Oh! The animals came out one after the other. Look at that.
So pretty good animal RNG for Scotty.
Yeah. Okay, so apparently that was impossible strat, and I just don't know what impossible strat looks like. Okay. Oh, Elfonzyo having a little bit of trouble in the climb there. Gotta be careful at this point, just because these stretchies still do a lot of damage even with the various suit, and not gonna be getting a health refill for a little while yet. Alright. Elfonzyo on his way up to save the animals as well. Hopefully the animals will give him a nice fast RNG as well. While Scotty heads down to pick up the loudest power-up in the game. I wonder if he's going to skip the elevator missiles, or if he's just going to go for the 45 missiles. I've seen a few runners skip them. Okay, Scotty does not skip them.
Yeah, I think I've seen runners skip, like, I think you were going to say this, but I've seen some runners actually skip those missiles and just grab the ones after Spitter Room instead.
Yeah, or I think in one or two cases I've actually seen folks skip that one entirely. Like they'll get the main deck and then skip that one, which is an unusual choice, but missile count is a very personal thing to every runner, I suppose.
That sounds like something you would probably do if you wanted to go with 40 missiles, but you wanted to help in Sector 1.
Yeah. That would make sense. Or I suppose also if you accidentally you have to grab the missiles of shame in Sector 4, you can opt to skip that elevator missile. Because that's one of the most I think that's one of the most costly missile tanks to grab, usually in the 45 missile route. Alright, Scotty getting the first Sector 5 Shine Spark. No problem there. That is the less impressive but nonetheless harder of the two Shine Sparks to set up.
Elfonzyo tried to do a jump extend strat there, but had to resort to vanilla strat. Gets the shine break though.
Yeah. It definitely feels like one of the tighter jump extends to get if you're trying to wall jump off it. You have to do it from the absolute height of the jump and just not be off at all, or you're taking the tumble. Oh, Elfonzyo getting real good animals.
Elfonzyo definitely saved the animals in Super.
And the day may come when they repay the favor. Alright, let's see if Scotty goes for the fast strat in this room. Oh, he's just going for the classic.
Yeah, pretty identical to the strat he used first time around, except he froze the crab instead of killing it outright, which is really only because now he has ice missiles instead of supers.
Yeah. In fact, the alternative strat also involves freezing that enemy, except you also blow up the wall, and then just wall jump up the left instead of having to kind of zigzag through the room. Alright, Scotty finishing up Sector 5, Elfonzyo on his way down to Sector 5 now. Me and Sky is about to head into what we affectionately refer to as the boss gauntlet.
Yeah, we'll have to see how Yakuza decides to treat Scotty here.
Before we have to see how the spitters decide to treat Scotty, because you never know. Sometimes they just don't want you to. They don't want you to speed boost through that room.
Yeah, if the spitters aren't nice, Scotty's actually gonna have to get 50 missiles here. So you might be able to jump over that missile tank, but if you can, it's incredibly tight.
I don't think it's RTA viable. Well, which actually, now that I think about it, that means that Scotty might still be able to jump over them. We'll see. Oh, man. Oh,
doesn't. Forgot. So I guess we'll find out in a second here.
Yeah, I guess so. I just grabbing him. 50 missile strats, the new hotness.
I mean, think about it this way: you won't have to worry about using charge beams and power bombs in Nethereye now.
Yeah, that's true. Which is one of the more annoying parts of that fight. And is he gonna take the save? He is. Good, good. It always warms my heart when people take that save. Oh, Elfonzyo getting the setup for the Shine Spark, the more challenging part of it, unfortunately a bit too low. Not getting to wall jump up here.
The downside is if you miss that spark up, you're already gonna be. I'm not even sure if it saves time. I think the spark only saves like a few frames, if at all. Not entirely. I think if you do it right, you do save a few frames. So if you mess it up like that, you're definitely going to be losing time over just walking in there regularly.
Yeah. It doesn't come into play too often, because I think usually the most common way to mess up that strat is to go through the door and then lose the charge before you can activate the Shine Spark, so... Alright. Elfonzyo gotta be careful, though, because the Sax here does a lot of damage with that Ice Beam. Okay, makes it through okay. And now
yeah, well, you've actually seen at least, like, 2 people die to that SAX encounter in the tournament.
Oh yeah, that Ice Beam does over 200 damage even now, so it's no joke. Oh, Elfonzyo getting a little bit confused and actually stopping to try to stand on the platform. Meanwhile, Scotty trying to get the Yakuza to open up off screen. But nope. Are we gonna have a 4-cycle here? Yes, we are. That 4-cycle Yakuza, the worst possible luck. Is he going for doubles? Is he trying to get doubles?
Already knew this was gonna happen.
He's going for doubles on
He did get one. He actually did get one, so...
Oh my god. And has a very clean core fight. So aside from the fact he got the 4-cycle, Sky's execution on Yakuza was otherwise excellent. Okay. So Elfonzyo on his way to have the power go out. And Scotty on his way to probably do the fancy wall clip here in Sector 2. We'll see what happens. Oh, and Elfonzyo getting the speed booster, but he's actually opting to stop and grab the missiles here. That surprises me, actually. And Scotty gets backup strats and manages to go up through the out of bounds.
Yeah, Key Hunter slowed him down a little bit, but he still gets the strat there.
Getting unfortunate eye door luck as well. But hey, with 50 missiles, he can get through the Notori fight easier. He's just not even going to use power bombs and charge beams. Doesn't have to.
Yeah, I think it's 48 missiles to kill it outright. So even if he exhausts everything, he'll still have like 2 missiles left over here.
Or no missiles.
Left over. He did fire 1 extra there at the end.
That's okay. Looks like he's good shape to get the triple doubles here. Oh! Well, that's right. You only need 2 doubles. It's 5 to kill this one. So yeah, Scotty got a good wave core fight. Wave core, plasma core.
Elfonzyo takes a dive there.
Ooh. That's unfortunate. So Elfonzyo opting to blow up the block under that pirate with a power bomb, so he doesn't have to try to shoot under it. Because you can't actually shoot that block of the pirate standing on it, which can be a little bit annoying.
Okay, let's see how Elfonzyo's fight goes here with Yakuza.
Alright, first thing, gotta see what color Yakuza is, make sure he did enough damage. We have brown Yakuza, he's in good shape. Oh, look at that! He gets the best possible RNG there, so let's see how his phase 2 goes. So he's opting to not jump up to try to hit Yakuza, which is a little bit slower but safer. Missile count's a little bit low though. You might have some trouble if he. Well, I think he might opt to not go for doubles then if he can't get green drops here. Yeah, Elfonzyo just opting to go for the single shots.
Yeah, if you aren't confident in your doubles, a lot of times it can be better just to go for the single shots.
Yeah,
because it does take a bit of time to set them up in some cases.
Yeah, especially if your missile count is low. Scotty pulling off the Nightmare Shine Spark, no problem. Now Elfonzyo on his way to deal with Notori in Sector 2. Alright, it's time for everybody's favorite sad microwave face boss. Oh no, Elfonzyo missing the missile block. Ooh, that was a little bit dicey there with that sax chase. Having to go for the intended strat, but not dying, which is the more important thing. Oh, Scotty getting knocked out of position during the Nightmare fight. Gonna lose some time and take some extra hits here during phase 2.
We'll see how Scotty's luring works out here. Oh, nice.
Very good positioning. Yeah, it does the dance just fine. Nightmare is done and dusted. Let's see if we can get the triple doubles on the core. Misses the first one.
Does get that second one, though. Alright, so he still got 2 doubles in the fight.
Yeah. Oof, Elfonzyo taking a tumble into the flowers during his Notori fight. Now Elfonzyo is going to have to use 3 power bombs and 3 charge shots on top of missiles in order to make sure he does not run out of missiles for the core. That's just because he has the 45 instead of the Scotty's 50. Oh, unfortunately missing a missile there. Tinking a couple as well, he's got to be careful.
Yeah, he expanded enough extra charge shots there to kind of make up for those whiffed missiles.
Yeah. That's honestly one of the more annoying parts of the Metroid fight, is the fact that to kill it fast, you have to go really low on missile count. Which means that you have to rely on getting green X's off of the core from shooting it, so... What is Scotty doing?
Tried to do another clip there, but it looks like the fish didn't really behave nicely.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised that he tried to do another clip.
I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but it looked like he was trying to get that fish in the corner and then freeze it so he could do the little strat on it.
But yeah, that would make sense. Alright, Scotty's doing alright though, but this part of Underwater Sector 4, despite the relaxing music and the very nice aesthetic, is deceptively dangerous. Everything in this area does so much damage, and it's very easy to get knocked around. Oh, freezing the Ever, that's interesting. I usually just, see folks just charge shot and just try to dodge it. I'll say that's one of the things I do definitely enjoy about these races. You have so many different runners, all of them having slightly different strats that are just that they figure out for themselves, they're just more comfortable doing, and it's interesting just to see how different folks go through these rooms, you know?
Yeah, that's the one thing that Fusion really excels at, is that you see different room strats all the time. And a lot of times, sometimes the strats are same amount of time, it's just one that they feel more comfortable with. And sometimes the strats are where there's one that's clearly faster, but you opt to go for a different one because you feel more comfortable doing it, and the risk for going for the other one just isn't worth it.
Yeah. Well,
Elfonzyo got the spark here, he does. Alright, nice.
Very nice. So Elfonzyo on his way to fight Nightmare. Meanwhile, Scotty exiting Sector 4 and about to head back into Sector 6 to fight Box a second time. I'm sure Box wants a rematch after that earlier thrashing.
Yeah, Box was not happy with what Scotty did to him earlier.
Nope. It returns with more tricks and Microsoft branding. Elfonzyo moving very smoothly through these underwater sections. It's very easy to get shot by the pirates since you have very slow movement, but he manages to avoid that very cleanly. Let's see if we can get some better luck on that eye door as well. Interestingly, he actually opts to stop for the red X there. Oh, and get the extra energy tank. Alright. This is another popular one I see folks grab in races sometimes. That one you rarely see grabbed in PB attempts, but in this race, I've been seeing it surprisingly often. I mean, in this tournament, rather. Alright, Elfonzyo having a very good Phase 1 and 2. Let's see if he can follow that up with a clean Phase 3 on Nightmare. Oh!
Ooh, too high. He was too high up there and ended up whiffing his missiles at the start.
This could... He should still be fine, but it's definitely going to give him less margin for error on the core. Alright, gets him in a good height. Should be able to finish him off here. Alright, no trouble. Looks like Elfonzyo has not quite gotten the hang of the ice missile double timing. But that was a clean Nightmare fight. Made it through, no trouble. All right, here we go. Scotty about to go fight the Xbox. Does he still do the Does he still do the pseudo screw into the body of the box? There's my answer.
I believe he does it for the start of the fight, but after that he goes to this method.
Yeah. Yeah, I was about to ask, is he setting up for wave core doubles, or is he just... Okay.
It looks like he just has a very specific strat for moving the wave core around there.
Yeah, well, it gave him sweet spot, so it works.
Yeah, we don't really see runners go for wave core doubles just because they're too much of a pain to do, and the setup, if you don't get the doubles, does lose a bit of time over just single shots.
Yeah, and you take a lot of damage as well. Alright, Elfonzyo making it so far through Underwater Sector 4 with full health, doing very well. Let's see if we can keep it. Let's see if we can keep that momentum going. Meanwhile,
Scotty already complaining about stupid Metroids in chat, which doesn't bode well for this section.
Just. Oh no, he only got a 55. Oh gosh.
So generally speaking, you want to get a 55 there, but I guess for Scotty it's a little not good enough, so you try to get a 56, but the last Metroid did not cooperate for him.
The galaxy is not at peace. Not much to say there, just a whole lot of dialogue, and Elfonzyo is just moving through the last couple of rooms of Sector 4 here before grabbing diffusion missiles. It is important to note that the diffusion missiles make doubles extremely difficult. They're by far the hardest doubles in the game. And also the fact that the two spots where you regularly charge them, you want to charge the door transition. Otherwise you have to wait, what, 4 or 6 seconds for it to finish charging? It takes forever.
I don't know the exact time, but it takes forever is good enough.
Alright, let's see how Scotty handles the Golden Pirates here.
I was gonna say, I bet Scotty's gonna do a diagonal.
Well, he tried to. Didn't quite work.
Yeah, notably, the reason we mention that is after getting Plasma Beam, your beam actually does more damage. It does damage per frame that's in the enemy. So doing diagonals like that can do a bit more damage than just shooting them straight on.
Yeah. Oh, Scotty actually opted to not grab the red X, so it means he's actually coming to this fight a little bit lower health. And considering, which could be could be trouble, because Ridley has been known to ruin some racers in this tournament. Because he does a lot of damage, especially if he grabs you or hits you with his tail. Oh, he gets him though. Let's see if we can get any diffusion doubles. Not yet, he doesn't.
Now, Scotty, you may wanna, watch his health a bit.
Yeah, because this core does what, 55 damage? If he touches you?
Around that, for sure. I believe Scotty took about, I'm not sure about the exact amount he took, but it's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Just barely missing Pacifist there.
Elfonzyo making his way through Sector 6 right now, though. Should be facing off against Xbox soon. Presume probably going to see a much more conventional strat from him.
Don't think we'll quite be seeing him damage boost his way into the hitbox.
Yeah, probably not. But now with the screw attack, though, Scotty's more or less invincible to just about everything, except for a couple of boss things that could happen in the last couple of bosses. Elfonzyo having a little bit of trouble getting the correct positioning to be able to shoot the hitbox diagonally. It's tricky because if you're too close, just like that, Xbox will knock you off the monkey bars. Oh! But he finishes the fight.
Yeah, luckily Xbox doesn't have a whole lot of health, so... But you want to be aware of this Core X because the Wave Beam does a very large amount of damage, so...
Oh yeah.
Although we're about to see Scotty's going to be starting the SAX fight kind of soonish. We still got just a little bit of text to go through. Not a whole lot, just a little bit here.
Just a few text boxes, that's fine. I mean, if you hurry, you might have time to, run to the bathroom or make a sandwich or 3, or write your next best-selling novel.
Oh, which very feasibly doable within the time frame it takes this text box to go by.
Yeah, it's just a short one though. I mean, if it were a long one, shoot, you could probably write an encyclopedia. We did not have enough space for words. We needed to get rid of the sprites and just have a screen full of words. Elfonzyo trying
My way of thinking there is at least there's less text to mash through.
That's very true.
I mean, it's more text, but you only have to mash once, so better to have it distributed that way instead of the 1 or 2 cents text boxes we're seeing right now.
Yeah, that would be much more annoying to get through. Look at this, just a screen full of text twice. Look at this, look at all this text. Ain't that just Metroid Fusion in a nutshell?
Yeah, unfortunately, being an English version means you get like 3 minutes more of text to mash through here, so makes all these text boxes just a little bit longer.
Yep. Doesn't affect your in-game time in the slightest, but makes everyone run just a little bit longer. Just a little. Alright, both of them doing the elevator thing. Scotty on his way to fight the Sax. Elfonzyo on his way to fight Ridley. The big screamy boy. Alright, I don't think there's any sort of wild off-the-wall strats that Scotty can drop on us for Sax, thankfully. I hope. I've spoken too soon.
I'm not counting him out yet.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of anything, but I'm not confident enough to dismiss that.
No, I know what's going to happen. He's going to soft lock phase 2 and then clip into the wall after him and kill it anyway. Somehow. I have no idea. Now let's see how how Elfonzyo handles the gold pirates here. Oh, Scotty having a little bit of trouble with the setup there. Actually losing control of the Sax for a moment, but regaining it. Taking some damage along the way though. Should still be fine, but so you have to be a bit more careful during the core fight.
Yeah, the mistake he made there was that whenever you start that fight, you want to freeze Sax after it stops running for a second. But Scotty waited a bit too late, and the SAX was actually able to move a little bit more, and he gets triple-double on the I-score.
Yeesh. I guess we had nothing to worry about.
Which, getting triple-double on that core is really, 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 really hard.
Yes.
I guess really other than wave core doubles, that's the most difficult doubles to get.
I'd actually almost argue that the really core is a little bit harder to get doubles on, but ice core doubles are still no joke.
Yeah, with Ridley, you don't really have any visual cues, I think. I think with the ice core doubles, there is a bit of visual cue you can use.
Yeah.
Or depending on how you do the setup anyway.
Yeah. There's enough stuff in the background of the room you can kind of try to line up on it. Alright, Elfonzyo done with Ridley. On his way to fight the true final boss, Text. Let's see if Scott can get the low height shine spark here. I think he may have gotten it there.
He was too high.
Ah.
Yeah, usually if you can see they're off the ground even a little bit, then that's enough. You pretty much have to be on the ground for that spark to work, or at least look like you're on the ground anyway.
That one's a very difficult one. Isn't that one actually frame perfect, the setup?
I don't know. I mean, if you do land, you still have a little bit for you to still be able to spark, but once you've landed, you've already kind of missed your chance.
Yeah. Oh, let's see if Scotty can set up for. I think he does. He does vertical strat. Okay. Scotty's setting up for the vertical quick kill here on Omega, and no problem, gets it.
This is a mid 117, so I think this is a 46, but it would depend on his tech smashing and other bits there, and I'm not sure what his PB is, so I can't really say for certain. I know it's a 46, I just don't know what the real time is for it.
Neither do I, because we don't take RTA for MU. But what I can tell you is that Scotty's are wearing today with an official SRL time of 1:17:36, which is actually an 8-second improvement on his best race time.
Now it looks like Elfonzyo is going to be entering in the longest text box in the game that we jokingly called short.
Well, I mean, it's short relative to, well, yo, Scotty is with us now here in the commentary box. Congratulations, Scotty.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, how'd you feel about that run?
It felt a little sloppy, but I ended up being only 33 seconds behind PB.
Dang, not too shabby at all.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the late game. Like everything after like Varia went pretty smoothly in relation to my PB, that is.
Oh, yeah, all the boss fights seemed clean. The movement seemed pretty good. I mean, and that emergency had us both a little bit shook here.
Yeah, same here.
So I have to ask, how many different spots have you actually found that you can use that out of bound clip to save time?
I only think to use it in like 3 places, and only 2 of them save time. And that's the one going to Nettery, and then the one exiting Sector 2 the first pass through. I tried it, but I didn't get it quickly.
Yeah, no, she tried to do one in lower Sector 4 as well.
Yeah, that's the one that doesn't save any time. I wanted to to make that small fish a big fish, but I grabbed the X accidentally, so I just abandoned it.
Oh, okay. So that one, it has to be a big fish. So that one doesn't work. Okay.
It doesn't have to be a big fish, but the setup is extremely simpler when it's a big fish. I was happy that I did get to show off the new setup for clipping, where you just have to kill the enemy instead of having to do this weird unmorph jump thing.
Yeah, I noticed you just posted about that today. I noticed. How long ago did you discover that?
I discovered that like just about an hour before the race.
Dang.
So like right when I posted about it in Discord, that was when I found it.
Very quick implementation of a strat there.
Yeah, it's so much easier than the previous strat. You don't have to freeze the key hunter in a weird location. You can just use the upper one.
I feel like I kind of need to look into this trick now.
I think you really should if you're playing on England. Because you don't need to take any damage. All you need to do is wait for the key hunter to get into the right spot.
And how much time does that save versus going around?
In-game time, it saves 8 seconds.
That's a non-trivial number of seconds.
Yeah. I haven't timed it in-game time, but I might as well at some point.
So your next match in the tournament is going to be versus Resren. What do you plan on doing to prep for that match?
I think I might start practicing a bit more. I haven't been doing any runs except for those that I've been doing for races. I might do a few more. I didn't get a chance to... oh well. I think that's like a low-mid 47.
Okay, I wasn't sure what it was. I think Nexion thought that might have been a 46 or a 47. Or
nah, with my text matching, it's a little higher.
Yeah, that was actually one of the things I mentioned. I'm like, I'm not sure how good Scotty's text matching is, so.
If it were someone like Paul's more, it would have been higher, or it would have been like a high 46.
Text mashing, the unappreciated skill.
It's a fine art.
You just gotta mash on the controller like a seal, but you gotta do it with a certain amount of finesse.
No, that's on Japanese. On English, it's a lot easier to just time everything. You lose less time to each text box. At least in my experience.
Elfonzyo about going to be finishing up here shortly. Had a clean sax fight. Didn't try to get any doubles on the core, but now just got to finish off the Omega. He's probably gonna go for diagonal strat. And I think more people still tend to go for diagonal. It's a little bit, it's like a tiny bit slower, but the setup is, I think, a bit more consistent.
Yes, that's right.
Oh no, he's going for vertical. And he gets it.
Ooh.
Nice.
Right. Elfonzyo finishes the race. We'll see what his time is in a second. Let's get an official SRL time of 1:24:44.
And Elfonzyo also announces in chat that this is actually an RTA PB by 4 seconds for him.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Funnily enough, it looks like both you and both Sky and Elfonzyo, their timers are only 2 seconds faster than the SRL times they got there.
That seems to usually be the case. At least on the live split integration.
Yeah.
Ah, that would explain it.
Yeah, I've been robbed of better time because of that 2 seconds.
Well, let's see if Elfonzyo wants to come in and say a few words. All right. Seems he's down. Just let's get him in here. Well, as soon as he jumps into one of the voice channels, that is. Oh, there he is.
Oh, here we go. Hello?
Elfonzyo, hello there.
Hello.
GG on the race. Congratulations on that PB.
I just wanted to. My goal for this this whole thing was to at least PB once during the whole race, and I think I did it, but it was on emulator, and my RTA PB is on Wii Virtual Console.
Oh,
It was I never thought I could do. That I was doing double missiles on Core X's that I've never done double missiles on. Practice because it doesn't hurt.
Yeah. Well, you did a great job, putting a great show, and had some great box execution in there.
Yeah.
And
What my in-game time is.
I'd say it's probably a 52.
Oh my gosh, that's
yep,
a big
52.
time save.
Like, I'm very close to 51, I know that.
Yeah, well, on that note, I mean, Elfonzyo, unfortunately, this means you're out of the tournament. How much more do you think you're going to be pushing Fusion any harder in the near future, beyond the 51, or just what are your plans moving forward?
For this year, at least, is to get the 50. Really possible, because this run was full of mistakes. So make them. I think I can get 50.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially once you start getting better at those later doubles. Yeah, that 50 is. Yeah, if you can definitely get that 50.
Yeah. I knew I had no chance coming in today going against Scotty, but just.
Yeah, you did. And it was a good race. Scotty, Elfonzyo, both of you, thank you very much for giving us some great stuff to talk over.
Thank you.
I have to rewatch that VOD, and GG, Scotty. It was a really fun match.
Thank you, I agree.
That was a great race to watch.
As far as Fusion races go, though, this is the only race we got going on today. We do have, I believe, more races coming up later this week, I want to say. Do we? Or have they not been scheduled yet? I'm checking the schedule.
The next race I saw was next Thursday, I believe.
Next Thursday.
Oh, we actually, no, okay. There is actually, well, I guess it's technically next week, but there is a race on Monday between Monkey and Mr. Shasta.
Okay, yeah, I see it. And then, yeah, then next Thursday we have the Boxmeister versus Sophia race. And then we'll have more. We'll definitely have more races coming up after that. We're just kind of wrapping up a couple of the rounds here, and ready to move on to the next phase. Well, Scotty, Elfonzyo, you guys got anything else you want to say? Anything else you want to add, Scotty, for your future opponent, or either you to the people out there watching?
I have nothing.
I just want Scotty to go all the way now.
Oh, thank you.
Right, looks like for the rest of the day, we have a few different things on Speed Gaming here. There's an Ori race that's going to be on Speed Gaming 2. Looks like it's about to start. Starting in like 15 minutes from now. And then right after that race, there's a Link to the Past and MG, both on Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2. Then there's Super Mario Sunshine on Speed Gaming 5, and more Link to the Past, and some Super Metroid as well.
Yep, 2 hours of Super Metroid from 8 to 10 on this very channel. So yeah, we got a nice crowded Friday night going on here in Speed Gaming Town. Well, actually, let's take a look at the bracket just to see where things stand at. With this match, looks like Scotty is going to move forward to face off against Reseren. And that means losers round 4 is going to shape to be pretty interesting here, I think. So we also get to look forward to seeing...
Losers bracket is getting pretty stacked.
Yeah, it is. Because we still have the Destructor versus Phase on Night Fight, which looks like they told us is going to be this coming Tuesday. The winner of that faces off against Mandatobi. Then we have, like we said, the aforementioned Monkey versus Shasta fight. That's going to be a great one.
Yeah, I actually think Shasta started with a better seed than Monkey did before the tournament start. But Monkey put in the work and now has a PB faster than Shasta's.
Oh yeah, Monkey's been putting in some serious work. So yeah, there is definitely a lot of fantastic races still to come in this tournament. It's far from over. So look forward to those. Keep your eyes peeled on the schedule right below the stream for when the new ones get posted. Otherwise, I don't think I'm running out. I think I might be out of things to say for once.
Alright, well, I guess we can go ahead and close out here then. Thank you everyone for watching the stream today. Hope to see you guys at the next races, but for now, I think we're going to be heading out here and you guys can enjoy some more speed gaming content. See you guys in the next race.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good one.